Hello everyone, Mr. Opinionated here, giving you a brand new video. And today, it's just more of an opinion piece, but in the background you get to see a lovely match. Now originally what this video is going to be talking about how I would change Moris. But, all of a sudden, behaviour was like, you know what, we're not going to tell people that we're going to change Moris, we're going to just change the Moris and just not tell anyone. Which is, you know, quite surprising, because they usually kind of like premeditate and like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, do that, do this, it'll be there in a week or so, blah 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 blah. But no, we got the changed Moris. Now initially, this video was gonna be for like how I would change the Moris, and basically how I would change them would be, and this video was gonna be an example of this. I could only use a bony Mori if I hooked everyone at least once, like barbecue and chili. So I'd have to hook all 4 survivors first, then I could use the Mori, if that makes sense. And in this video, I only was able to use the Mori once, and I pretty much just used it like a yellow Mori because I didn't do the rules that I set in my own head. Because I think I killed someone before I even hooked a person, so I couldn't use the pink Mori. So that was my idea how a Mori could work, and I thought that was a bit more balanced. But now we have this new Mori system, and you know what? It's better than my idea, because it's like basically when you're on death hook, you can just kill them on the ground instead of them picking them up and then put them on a hook. Now I know a lot of people would be like, well, what is the point of using Moris now? I think the original idea for Mori, and this is just my opinion, was just to have a bit of a mini cinematic, have a cool death animation before, you know, before they get kicked out of the game, you know, before they, you know, they lose, whatever. So, yeah, it's one of those things where I know a lot of people won't understand. Especially if you're like in between the rank 20s to rank 15s, you're going to be like, well, how am I supposed to win games a bit easier now? But that's the point. When you're in red ranks, this shit gets hard, or a bit more competitive. The people don't care if you get only like 500 to 1000 blood points. If they've got a Mori, they're going to use it. I mean, there's no, like, at the end of the day, as much as like some people like myself do want to play fairly, there is no honor code, and at the end of the day people are going to play dirty and trashy, and a lot of people do with the Moris. That's how their idea is. It's like, well, it's in the game, I can use it. It's the same kind of mentality with keys, or you know, like no-ed or something like that. So what? Well, first off, the yellow Mori, the Cypress Mori, is the same. They didn't need to change that because there was nothing wrong with it. So then you got the Ivory Mori, the green Mori, where you can only kill one person with your own hand when they're on death hook, which again is fine. It's more of like a little, just like a bonus. Like, I would say the Ivory Mori more than anything is the one that's got most affected in terms of nerf. I mean, you could argue the pink Mori as well, but you can still do that to all 4 people, even though if it's on death hook or not. So a lot of people are just thinking now, well, they're useless. Not necessarily, because look at it this way. Even if you chase someone on death hook, there's still a chance that they have Unbreakable, Soul Guard, Decisive Strike, hey, even Breakout or Saboteur. You know, people using toolboxes to break hooks and stuff is still an existing factor. So you could still use Moris to make sure that even though they're on death hook, you can just kill them there and there. It's still a viable strategy now, and if anything, it makes it more fairer because they're going to be dead anyway. So you're just quickening up the process. So there's no problem with that. And I feel like, yeah, there's some animations like the trappers and the pigs and the wraiths and death kill animation are still a bit, you know, crap. But if you think about it, aren't Moris just faster to kill someone? So you're wasting less time picking them up, putting them on a hook, and then you can just move on to the next person. And it is treated more of like a cosmetic of showing a death animation. But there is a strategy that you can still use with pink, green, and obviously, yeah, Moris have not changed. So I personally think the Mori change is not a big deal. I mean, they've pretty much made a good call on it. Now the only problem is keys, because they haven't sorted keys, which is basically the Mori equivalent to, you know, killers. So the question is, what can we do about keys? Now, they're probably going to make a key change at some point. One I would like to see is the fact that the green key, the broken key, doesn't exist. Instead, we should have a brand new item that does exactly the same thing as the broken key, but looks completely different to a key. So people won't get like targeted in a game and then they realise, oh, that was a green key. Because I know some people are going to be like, how am I supposed to know? Or who brings a broken key? Because it's like the worst item in the game. You may think it's the worst item in the game, but that still does not mean it should look like one of the most powerfulest items in the game. So yeah, that needs to be sorted. They could just turn it into a completely different item, still maintain the key add-on aspects of it, and basically make it a tracking item, because tracking items are really good. So if you don't have something like bond or empathy or aftercare, etc., you can use this to see where your other fellow survivors are or your other fellow killers are. If you don't have access to those perks, or you want to have other perks instead, it will balance it out so you don't have to be targeted just because they may think you have a purple or a pink key. So, purple or pink keys, how would I change them? I think they should still have the tracking ability, so I think the timing between purple and pink can be perfectly justified by simply of the how much timing they have, because the purple one has 5 seconds and I believe the pink one has 30 seconds, so their tracking tool to see where other survivors are or where the killer is, that's perfectly fine still. The difference being is the actual opening of the hatch. How many times have you been in the game as a killer and you've done absolutely everything done perfectly? You've done pretty much no mistakes. They've done a ton of mistakes, but they still managed to get 1 or 2 people out because of a key. Now, I know that some people will be like, well, why don't you just kill the guy with the key first? But that still might not be a great strategy, because at the end of the day, they could be in a swift, so they know exactly where the key is. Oh, use Franklin's demise again. Even though Franklin's demise could be a semi-counter, that still doesn't mean that they're going to go back and find the key. I'm not going to guard a key just for 90 seconds while people do generators. The best part, like I said in my previous video, it's always usually best to leave a key in a corner if you know the killer's got Franklin's demise, and then pick it up later on. But I digress. So, I think how they should change purple and pink keys when it comes to hatches is they should have a timer on it. Similar to like when you do a jetting or a totem or a chest, there should be like that timer bar. I think they should have a timer bar with skill checks. I mean, yeah, I know it's a bit cliche, but it's probably the only way I can think of to make it fair. Because they've got a trophy in this, and I do apologise if I'm sniffing. I think I'm catching a cold or something. Oh god, not a cold. Oh no, not Christmas time and with a cold. But yes, with the whole opening the hatch thing instantly, it can be so borderline BS, and it punishes good killers for literally no reason. And especially now, a Swift team can easily spawn the hatch where they want it to, in either the main building or the killer shack, which makes keys even stronger now. Not only that, you got another so one person brings a key, one person brings the location of the hatch, and another person brings a map offering. You're golden. All you gotta do is survive. Yeah, the killer can still win those matches, but now they've got a game plan. They've got something to premeditate for. So if they know if like one person dies and there's one person dead, they'll all just book it to wherever the hatch will be. And yeah, you know where the hatch is probably, you know where the hatch is going to be as well. Sorry for stuttering. But they could be there before you get there. This is the thing. It brings so much BS. So I would simply say that they should have a timer. You shouldn't be able to open the hatch straight away with the purple or the pink. And the difference between the colour is their tracking ability. That is the only reason why they're the different colours that they are. Purple's less, pink is more. Only reason. So, that's my idea for keys. So all in all, I think the Mori change is a good thing, and it's a step in the right direction, and I hope they do something similar to the keys, or they do my idea, which is probably absolutely bad, but it's the best thing I could think up with. But what do you guys think? Comment down below and tell me what you think a good idea for a key change is, and what you think of the Mori changes, and let me know down in the comments below. I would love to know what you think about these changes that DVD's doing. Some of them have been questionable, granted, but with this Mori change, I think this is a step in the right direction. So let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. It would be greatly appreciated. And I also have Twitch now, so if you want to follow me on that, that'd be greatly appreciated. So yeah, like, subscribe, share, check out my Twitch, and I will make another video soon. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo!